all, this is Steph Giordano with Human Services Research Institute, or HSRI. Today I'm just going to walk you through really briefly how to enter data in our Odessa system, which is our online data entry system. This is where you'll go to enter background information for your NCI-AD consumer surveys. So when you get access to the system, you'll get a username and temporary password, which you'll change on the first time that you log in. And really, you're going to be spending most of your time under this surveys page here. So when you first log in to the surveys page, the first time that you go into this page here, you will not see any surveys, and then as you add new surveys, they'll start kind of appearing here in this grid. So to start a new survey, you're just going to click this New Survey button. You are going to enter the survey code, which you will receive along with your pre-survey and background information packets from the state. Click Next, and it will bring you to our data entry screen for the NCI-AD survey. So the pre-survey form will actually be grayed out. You won't be filling out any of this information. You'll really just be going here to this background information section. You can use the table of contents on the side to kind of jump through to the various pieces of the survey that you'll be working on. You can also click Hide TOC if you just want to see the questions on your screen. So starting with background question 1, what is the person's age? I just want to show you a few things about data entry here. First, for all of the background information questions, you will have to click a source of data. This for you will be record/administrative here. We do have some logic checks and validations built in to the Odessa. For instance, this question here, you see if the person is under 90, you're just going to type in their age here. But if they're over or 90 or over, you're going to click this 90 response here. And that's just for some HIPAA related issues. If, however, you did check off that the person was, let's say, 93 and wrote that into this box and tried to go on to the next page, it's going to stop you and say that you need to provide a valid age from 0 to 89, or you're going to click 90 or over. So we can just click this question BI1, and it will take you right over to the question you need to edit. And then here we just click 90 or older, and then we can move on to the next page. Alright, so we're going to assume that we filled out all of the questions that we have information for from BI2 through BI6 and jump over to this question BI7, what is the person's zip code? So again, clicking the source of data here. This question is just slightly different in terms of how you will enter the data. So for this, we're going to click Lookup. You may have to turn off any pop-up blockers that you may have on your computer to get this additional window to open up for you. But we're going to go ahead and enter a zip code. Click Select. And you'll see here that this information gets transformed into a type of residential designation, so metropolitan. There are about 12 different designations here for various types of residence that the person lives in. And this is how the data will show both in the Odessa and when the state is able to look at the data. And again, we just go through the survey here. Just click off the questions as they are in your records. And then we come down to this question BI10, has the person's address changed in the past 6 months? Again, I just want to show you that we do have some of these kind of logic checks built in here, so I'm going to click off source of data. So if we say that yes, the person's address has changed in the past 6 months, you see that BI11 will open up for you to answer. If you say no, don't know, or unclear response, you see that the appropriate answer for BI11 gets checked automatically for you, so you don't have to bother with clicking the correct answer for those as well. Jump over to the next page, and as you do click the previous and next pages, it will save any information that you've been working on for that last page. It looks here like we need to enter some sources of information. So for BI8 and then for BI9. Then we go on to the next page. Some information will only be able to get collected from records or administrative data. So for instance, BI 12. And again, we move on. So we're going to jump to the end of the background information section. All of the rest of this is pretty straightforward. Again, just entering information as you have it in the records. And once you have all of this information collected, so through BI 20 at the very end here, we're going to click Save either at the bottom or top of the screen. You'll see that this note comes up here that the survey was successfully saved. And then we're just going to go ahead and close out of the survey. We really don't want you to click Finish, only because somebody is going to go ahead and enter information that is collected during the direct interview with the individual. And at that time, once all of the information for the interview gets collected, we click Finish. So again, you're just going to click Save, close out of the survey, and then you'll see that the survey that you just entered comes over and appears on your survey grid. If you're going through a number of surveys and then realize that you need to enter additional information for one of the surveys or maybe change something, you can go ahead and just click that survey code, and it will again take you right over to the data entry screen for the survey. You can also search for a specific survey by clicking this search button here. Entering any kind of search information that is the same or similar to the survey code that you're looking for. So if, for instance, we look up 1, click Go, it will come up with any survey that has a 1 in the code. And then just to get rid of the search, if you want to see all of your surveys again, you can click this clear button. It shows you all the surveys. You can also get rid of the search box by clicking search again. And the last few things to show you here are just what these icons at the far right of each survey does. So this little pencil icon is an edit. And this is really just to edit the survey code, and if you had entered region information here, you can change or edit. So if we needed to add some numbers to the survey code or do any kind of modification here, you just go ahead and change it, click Save, and you'll see that that survey code gets changed. This trash, not surprisingly, deletes the survey. Really, we do recommend not deleting surveys unless it's absolutely necessary. That's just because if it's done and needs to be undone, we have to kind of pull it from the back end of our database, and sometimes that can have an effect on the data that have been entered. And then this little paper icon here is a survey report. So this is just so that you can see any information in the background section that needs to be entered after you complete possibly entering surveys information to make sure that you didn't miss anything. So you just keep this background information checked, click Run Report, and it will show you all of the questions within the background information section. And if there's an answer that's been selected, you'll see it reported here in this right-hand column. If not, it will be blank. Okay, and we can close out of that. And that really takes us to the end of our tutorial on how to enter data into our Odessa system for NCI-AD. So thank you all so much for listening.